A ship with confirmed cases of a deadly virus with 2 Irish people on board is on its way to the Canary Islands, and here the Department of Health is planning for their return. 3 people who were on board the MV Hondius have died since it set sail from Argentina a month ago. The World Health Organization says 8 cases of Hantavirus, 3 confirmed and 5 suspected, have so far been identified in people who have been on the ship. There are still 146 people on board. Professor Christine Kelly is with us. She's a consultant in infectious diseases at the National Isolation Unit at the Mater University Hospital in Dublin. Professor Kelly, thank you very much for coming into our studio this morning. I know you're not involved, but as far as you know, what's likely to happen here when the 2 Irish people on board come back here?
Yeah, well, I think it's an important question, Gavin, but I think where we really need to start and think about is, that there are 3 people who have died here. We need to think about the families and, they'll be grieving today. There's also some other people who are quite sick. We need to wish them the best as well, including a healthcare professional. I know obviously people are going to be afraid. People will look at this situation. They'll draw a lot of parallels with COVID. Of
course, yes.
I would say there's a lot, probably more differences than parallels, to be honest. Hantavirus is a very different virus to SARS-CoV-2. That's borne out with the guidance that WHO has given us in terms of the fact that it's low risk to the general population in terms of the outbreak. Some of those differences are we've seen that there only really have been infections on the cruise ship itself. Hantavirus is not a new virus. There have been human infections of Andes virus since the 1990s. So we do have information on it. We do know bits and pieces about it. Human-to-human transmission is quite rare. It only really happens with very close contact. So there are differences from COVID. The incubation period is longer. And what we do also know at the moment is that everybody on board the ship at the moment seems to be asymptomatic. And it's really important to draw that difference because when people are worried about cases and infections, that's very different from somebody who may be a contact or may not be a contact and isn't sick at the moment. So in terms of the planning for what happens next,
yes.
I think one of the really big factors is to get an idea of where we're at with the people on the boat at the minute, the individuals, the Irish nationals, whether they have any symptoms or not symptoms, get that, really important clinical assessment done, and then see where we're up to. That'll determine what happens after that. I would say, though, that, working in the National Isolation Unit, we work really closely with the Department of Health on an ongoing basis to prepare for all eventualities of what we call high consequence infectious diseases. There are really robust plans in place for these scenarios. We simulate them, we train for them. That's what we're doing in the background all the time, when we don't have outbreaks. So there are robust possibilities for what might happen next, and based on that clinical assessment that we'll then see what needs to be done after that.
If the 2 people have symptoms or don't have symptoms, will they still have to be isolated or put in quarantine when they come home?
Yeah, so there seems to be guidance from the ECDC, which is recommending... the European Centre for Disease Control,
yes.
which is recommending isolation for people on the ship.
For how long?
So that hasn't been confirmed yet, and we're still waiting for further guidance. So interestingly, a lot of the information we have about the Andes hantavirus is coming from Argentinian healthcare professionals who have a lot of experience with this.
Because the South American version is the most dangerous one, is that right?
So the South American version is the one that has been most commonly documented to cause human-human transmission. Now, having said that, it's still very rare, but compared to other hantaviruses, it has documented human-to-human transmission. I wouldn't necessarily say it's the most dangerous one by kind of any stretch of the imagination, but definitely there is guidance in terms of what we call the incubation period. So you might remember from COVID, an incubation period is a time between when you are exposed to the pathogen and when you develop symptoms.
Yes.
And it happens to be that for hantavirus, that incubation is quite considerably longer than SARS-CoV-2. So SARS-CoV-2 was maybe 2 or 3 days, which was very quick and helped propagate the virus through a population. Whereas for hantavirus, you're looking at average between 1 and 2 weeks of an incubation period. A larger range around that might be 1 week to 45 days. So in terms of how long we isolate people for, it's a little bit longer just because of the nature of the virus itself.
Can they be tested for the virus?
Absolutely, yeah. We definitely have testing for the virus. We can, there's PCRs available and there's serologies available.
And if they don't have it, are they in the clear then?
So that will depend, I think, on the clinical assessment. I think we'll need to see how people do. And I also think we need to be following international guidance. As I said, we'll be guided by Argentinian experts as well as experts within WHO and ECDC. I think, our colleagues across Europe have been working really hard on this together. We're used to working with people at the European level. The Department of Health and the National Health Protection Office here work with them on a regular basis to get those guidelines and to get that implemented. So we won't ourselves be deciding any of this. It'll be based on, recommendations that are provided to us as well.
If the virus has been spread from human to human on the boat in the Atlantic, how likely is it to spread further then?
So I think we have to look at the evidence we have at the moment. We don't have any concerns that there is any spread of virus outside of the cruise ship. That's the first thing. The second thing is, let's look at what we already know about Andes hantavirus. So if you look at the outbreaks that they've had in Argentina, human-to-human transmission is quite inefficient. So you usually have maybe one or two transmission cycles, so passed from one person to the next and maybe one other person before that outbreak comes to an end. So you're looking at, within outbreaks, the usual kind of maximum amount might be around 10 to 20 people, which is fairly in keeping with what we're seeing on the boat at the minute. You have to remember there's 149 people on that boat. We only have 8 suspected or confirmed infections. So
I know it's very different, but it is unnerving for all of us to be talking about a virus in the programme.
Absolutely. And I understand that people are afraid. I mean, COVID-19 had a devastating impact in societies, both in Ireland and all around the world. People are going to be hyper aware of that. We understand that. But I guess people just need to be really reassured that this isn't the same thing. It's a very different virus. And worst case scenario, if we did have a case in Ireland, we're well prepared for it. The National Isolation Unit is in a good place to be able to deal with it.
Professor Christine Kelly, Consultant in Infectious Diseases at the National Isolation Unit at the Mater. Thank you very much for coming into us this morning. Almost 8:20.